Once registered, surrender all those guns, magazines, and parts. We have a bill out of the state of Illinois from Representative Bob Morgan introduced, close the existing gun owners loophole, and it demands that you surrender all of your mags, parts, and your firearms. I appreciate you tuning in. I ask that you please, for the love of God, share this video, talk to each other in the comment section, hit the like button, and of course the bell notification, because I've got a lot of good stuff. Of course, we have a Freedom of Information Act that reveals exactly what the Illinois State Police are going to require when it comes to registration. And you're going to see it's not just that big scary pew pew, but also accessories and attachments to it. And if you don't comply, it would be an unlawful use of a weapon. Also, don't forget the language in the statute that talks about removable base plates and magazines that are easily converted into becoming capable of holding more than 15 rounds. But before we move further, please hit the link in the comments section or in the description to get your free, 100% free, 6 things you didn't know would happen when the police arrive. Fact is, friends, if you are in an act of self-defense, you and I can easily talk ourselves into jail. Talking ourselves out of jail ain't going to happen. You must know what's going to happen once the popos show up in that act of self-defense. It helps support this channel financially. It's from the USCCA. Plug in your email address, your friends and family's email addresses. Let them know that you sent them a free gift, because it's imperative that everyone is aware what may happen once you are in an act of self-defense. So, sources inside the Pritzker administration have hinted that the governor will advocate for just such a close the existing gun owners loophole law immediately after a first mass casualty event, after registration closes, especially if it happens in the state of Illinois. Folks, all the conspiracy theorists saying registration leads to confiscation, they may be right most of the time. We also have a lot going on when it comes to HB 218, if I believe that is correct, and that is on the radar when it comes to a law criminalizing the marketing of firearms to youth, militants, or those inclined to break the law. I don't trust Pritzker administration not to use the law against political adversaries, such as coming in for my friends, gun saves lives. You know, they were recently down for a little bit as hackers were infiltrating their system. It appears that they are back online. Marketing can mean a lot of things, and no doubt they consider you and I to be militants in their fragile minds. Keeping that in mind, you may want to consider, folks, having your security systems and cameras maybe attached to a cloud that you may have access later, because God forbid they show up pounding down the front door because you are a firearm industry member, which I recently did a video on. You're going to want to make sure that you have that evidence. Also on the radar, the no cash bail law was upheld, as you well know. I did a video on it in the state's high court, and they set a date in September, which is the 18th, as the date of implementation. Folks, you have 2 things to do before them. Get concealed carry insurance. By the way, go back to clicking that link. You can get it straight through there. Free guide. And number 2, clean and inspect your guns, because the county jails will be releasing 50, you think about this, 50 to 75% of those held on pretrial detention on that date. It will be a release of the purge on September 18th. Protect yourselves and your family. It's your duty, after all. People love and care about you, are counting on you. For the sheriffs trying to figure out what to do with these released criminals, I stand by the earlier suggestion that you rent a bus, drop them off in front of the home of the nearest politician that, of course, voted for this. And from the Freedom of Information Act, obtained an Illinois internal State Police document details how the Illinois State Police interpret the law and just what needs to be registered so that you are not committing a crime, or also known as an unlawful use of weapon. Unlawful use of weapon 720 ILCS 5-24, which is new and amended, talks about the registration of any assault weapon attachment. Any assault weapon attachment, folks. Keep that in mind, that persons in possession of assault weapon attachments, 50 caliber rifles and 50 caliber cartridges, must also have provided an endorsement affidavit signed under oath to the ISP no later than January 2024, just a few months down the line. Bear with me here. Folks, you read that correctly. In order to not be committing a felony in the eyes of the Illinois State Police, all attachments, this includes things like dust covers, grips, springs, stocks, extractors, and all spare parts, add-ons that you own for your so-called assault weapons, need to be itemized and submitted to the Illinois State Police along with the guns that meet the banned criteria. So that Magpul VFG you have laying around somewhere from 5 years ago, you better list it or you are breaking the law. I'm so happy that the blue will be enforcing this to keep us all safe. ISP views it no differently than holding out on not registering your scary assault, so-called rifle. That AR detent that flew across your living room and is lost, that assault weapon component must be listed. And if you're not, you have committed a crime in the state of Illinois. ISP is making the procedures and protocols available by October, so not long from now, on how you can willfully submit your assault weapons and all the available parts and attachments. Isn't that nice? Also, don't forget, guys, we haven't heard much talk regarding the language in the statute of removable base plates on your semi-automatic magazine or on your magazine. They are easily removable and therefore can be easily converted into a magazine that is capable of holding more rounds than what the statute allocates. Now for pistolas, 15 rounds, so on and so forth. So if that base plate, which most semi-automatic pistol magazines are easily removable, we shall see how ISP will interpret. The language is there for them to do exactly that. The outright unlawful use of that magazine. I guess your options would be, as time moves on, to maybe permanently weld that base plate to the magazine. Therefore, it can no longer be easily convertible. Ladies and gentlemen, it is looking grim. And I don't foresee any hope in the state of Illinois. I know it's out there. I know we have a lot of great organizations that are fighting on our behalf. However, as of right now, the days that are ahead of us in the state of Illinois are looking awfully gloomy or dark. You may want to consider relocating yourself and moving to another state. You may want to consider storing your firearms. Perhaps you have property in another state, a cabin or such, or, well, comply, or maybe not comply. Well, there you have it. Again, please click on the link in the comment section or in the description for your free guide. We must hold our heads high, guys, because we need to press forward, do what's ultimately best for you and your family, because things are going to get real spicy here over the next several months. I love you. I thank you. Please be sure to hit that like button. Comment in the comment section your thoughts as it helps wake up the algorithm. I appreciate your support. Stay safe.